basically how these Q&As go, I'm going to do them once every week from now on, something like that. Sometimes every 2 weeks. I don't really have a set schedule for now, but so you want to make sure to click the bell when you subscribe so that you get notified whenever I go live, because these will vary. The reason why is because I want to have like a more of a flexible schedule in my life. So I decided that, instead of being super strict like I used to be, like very strict, super productive type of person, I just want to make these on the go whenever I feel like them. And I don't want to force myself to do a live stream if I don't feel like it, right? I feel like if I were to, at some extent, at a certain extent, it's good to, force yourself to take certain actions if you want to get the ball rolling in your life. But yeah, so that's why the live streams, I'm not going to do them like, every single day at the same exact time. So it might vary. So yeah, so for those who are joining in, don't hesitate to ask me questions. This is a Q&A, right? So you guys drive the video. It's not like me who's like speaking on camera like usual. So yeah, make sure you ask me questions during this live. So the topic for today to get started is having difficult conversations. That's super important. Difficult conversations. There's Tim Ferriss who said that the success, I think it's Tim Ferriss, I'm not exactly sure, but he said that your success is determined by the amount of difficult conversations that you're willing to have. Right? And I think that really says something, because for me, what it means is that you have to be willing to do the difficult things, right? To talk to the people that sometimes you don't want to talk to. And it's crazy sometimes. For example, you have a certain problem in your life, in a specific relationship, whether it be with your parents or maybe certain friends or close friends you might have had, you might have, right? And you have this problem with this person. And what do you immediately do, right? Most people, when they have a problem with someone, they talk to someone else about that person. So for example, if someone has a problem with their parents and their parents are being, I don't know, toxic or whatever, or there's an issue with their parents, what they do is that they're going to go see a psychologist. And the psychologist is like, oh yeah, so tell me about the relationship with your parents. And they talk about their relationship with their parents. They're like, oh yeah, my parents, my dad is very neglectful. He's, sort of difficult to deal with. And these are great things to do, right? Yes, you want to talk to someone about it if you have trouble talking to that person. But has it ever occurred to you that, instead of going to a psychologist, just go talk to your father directly, right? How about that? And it's crazy if you ask people, like, I don't know, they have like a problem with a specific person, and that's what they'll, then they'll, let's say sometimes they come up to me like, oh yeah, so, the friends of my friends, they're really negative, toxic, and I don't know if I like them, and then I just reply back, well, have you spoke to them about that? And they always say no, like 90% of the time. Like, yeah, you come up to me, you talk about it to me, and yes, I can maybe give you some tips on what to do. Yes, maybe you can journal about it, and maybe you'll overcome the negative emotions you have associated with that person or whatever. But if you just talk to them, you confront them about what's going on, then it's gonna solve most of it. So just to give you an example, I had a little bit of a conflict with my sister, my older sister, because I realized that my whole life she was kind of speaking to me in a condescending manner, in a way that, I'm your older sister, I should be telling you what to do, sort of thing. And I just, while I was young, I just, because I didn't know any better and I didn't have any other reference points of other people's sisters to compare her to, I just assumed that, all sisters were like that. As a kid, I just assumed, all sisters are, a bit, older siblings are condescending, or, because they want to teach you stuff or whatever. And I just assumed it was like that until I reached a point recently where, I'm an adult now. I'm no longer a kid. and she still treats me like a kid. So I had to confront her about it a few days ago. It was a very painful conversation because she didn't know that she was treating me that way. She didn't know that she was talking to me that way. And in one conversation, it changed her whole relationship around her whole relationship. And it just comes to show that if you just have that one conversation about the thing that pains you the most, about the thing that is the most painful, you just talk to that person about it and you confront them about it, then sometimes that's all you got to do. And it's going to make a huge difference. It's going to make a huge difference in your life. And you should just do that once, right? Sometimes it's hard to do because maybe you don't have the confidence for it, or you're afraid of the repercussions, what could happen if you talk to that person. But then you do it. You do it. And I can guarantee you that you will feel better, and that person will also feel better about the whole situation. So think about that. Think of all the relational problems you have with people, whether it be your boss, whether it be your family members, whether it be some of your friends' friends, or your actual friends. You have certain problems, confront them about it. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, you have to present it in a way that states the facts without hurting their feelings and without, overly, overly putting your judgment on them situation. So you express matter of fact what happened that bothered you, and that's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do, and you just do that. And it's an art to there's an art to it. It's hard to explain. It really depends on the situation. So you have to go about you have to go about the situation at hand. So it really depends. But yeah, that's basically the moral of the I guess you could sum up everything that I just said in the last 7 minutes is confront the people who have hurt you and talk to them about it. Whoa, oh, I see a chat here. Hey, what's up, Gio? Thank you for inspiring me to be greater. I'm now 5 months into my job and I'm still working on my art. Nice. Well, I think art is everything, man. It's life. I love art. I love to make art also. What if I become numb and don't feel the pain and any sort of feeling anymore? Yeah, that's a very common one I get on my channel. People who struggle with numbness. Often numbness, it comes from when something, either a traumatic event happened to you or a series of many small traumatic events that accumulated, like small stresses over a longer period of time, and then your body is just like, fuck it, I don't want to feel anymore, or I don't want to feel that pain anymore. And then your body goes in sort of a preservation mode, defense mechanism. It's sort of a defense mechanism, and it actually happened to me, when I was going through depersonalization. I had a lot of that. I had a lot of that numbness, and it's hard. The best way to overcome numbness, I say, is to learn to feel again. And you have to tap into your body and your emotions. And often the numbness is not that you don't have you don't have an emotion. Numbness is not that you no longer have emotions. It's that you have emotions, they're just hidden, or they're just sort of repressed, and they're just sort of piled up. You piled up a bunch of stuff on top of it. Maybe you numb yourself with video games or whatever distractions, and you forget to tap into that emotion. And then you kind of lose touch with your emotions. So it's a matter of learning to feel again. That's kind of what you do. What's up, Delta 666? How? Yeah, exactly. So as I explained, so it's and how you do that? Well, you just sit down, and sometimes what I do is if I know that I have a negative emotion but that I haven't addressed, before it becomes numb, before I shove it down, I ask yourself, okay, so how am I feeling today? And then you just focus on how it feels. Often it's sometimes a feeling in your stomach. Maybe it's that feeling of hollowness. If you can't name the emotion, that's fine. If it's just numb, like just name the physical feeling. Maybe it feels a bit cold, a bit hot, a bit hollow. Like, how does it feel in your stomach? And just kind of be aware of it. And it's important that you don't wrestle it, that you don't try to change it. That you just bring your awareness to it. It's like a flashlight that you shine on the emotion, and you do that, and you do that over and over again, and that can definitely help. And definitely, if that's something that persists, definitely try to speak to a professional about it, like a psychologist or a doctor, because sometimes numbness is not just like repressed emotion. Sometimes an actual medical condition for some people, I think. I'm not a doctor, so don't ask me. But yeah, so that will be my tips. You inspired me to make YouTube videos. Much love. That's awesome. I'm glad I inspired you to make YouTube videos. What kind of videos do you make? Just curious. And yeah, guys, ask me questions. It's the Q&A. Don't be shy. Whatever you have about personal development. Pretty much done with the content I had for this video. So shoot me the questions. Shoot me the questions. Whatever you have in your life right now, you're struggling with whatever school, you're struggling with just being stuck at home with COVID and it's lonely, or whatever you're stuck with, just let me know. Whatever you need help with, shoot me a question. There's no bad questions. Anything you want to ask me, just shoot ahead. Self-help and advice for people. You wear a mask. Dude, that's all. I'm going to check your channel after this for sure. And I'm probably going to subscribe. What are some strategies to see whether or not someone is toxic or whether they are a good influence that you need to have in your life? Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of looking at red flags. People who are toxic, they have certain red flags, right? And there's many red flags. But the thing I like to say is, how do you feel around that person? Because that's something that you got to tell. Signs of a manipulator. You can look at some of my videos, like signs of manipulation, signs you're being manipulated, all that. You can look at that, but mostly first tune into how it feels to be with that person, and if it feels like it feels bad, that gut feeling of like, oh, not that person again. And like we all get that feeling around certain people, and if you get that feeling, like it's probably time to run away, right? If you get that. So that's my first tip. I like to know if someone drains you, then it's probably not a person you want to hang out with. If it's someone that empowers you, makes you feel good about yourself and encourages you, then that's probably a good person to hang out with, and it's probably a good influence, right? I have a problem with seeing everyone as a good influence, even if they have a toxic personality. I'm not sure I understand that part of the question. So I have a problem with seeing everyone. Well, I don't think everyone is a good influence. I think there's a lot of people who are horrible influences on your life, and you shouldn't even come near them. Not even like 2 meters away from them or whatever. Like, don't even touch them with a stick, right? That's how bad it is to hang out with these people, and you want to avoid that. You really want to avoid that. So yeah, and I'm just curious what kind of people we're talking about. Is it like friends of friends at school, or is it like just random people you're trying to be friends with? Or I'm just curious about the context. Sometimes I can learn a bit more if you tell me a bit more of the context behind it. But yeah, toxic people, it's usually you will see it that they take more than they give. That's one big sign. And whenever you're interacting with someone and they just want something from you, whatever it is, like whether it's like your social status, or they just want to get they want to get your money, or maybe they just want to feel better than you, right? That's really a taking sort of personality. And these people they're very insidious because sometimes they on the surface they seem like nice people and all that, and they speak to you, but it's only when you spend an extended amount of time with that person that you start to see the cracks in their armor. You start to see what's wrong, and it's really hard to judge at first glance. So if you really want to know if someone's toxic, my advice is you have to observe them over a long period of time, or just a longer period of time. Sometimes it just takes 1 minute and you know this person's toxic, right? You just know within the first minute. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes they are a bit elusive. Like one of my past roommates from a year ago, was a few months ago, was very toxic, but I did not see it at first glance. He was sort of the salesman sort of personality, and even me, who's the guy who makes the videos on manipulation, I couldn't spot him. I couldn't spot his red flags and signs. I couldn't see them, and he just came into my life, and it was horrible. It was horrible having him, but it just comes to show that sometimes you just need an extended period of time, like and just observe what they do, and you observe, and then you'll know your answer, right? Hey, what's up, Akshay Murkhar? Are you from India? Or it's like a Middle Eastern name. Nice. Is solitude good for a long time? Solitude is fine. I think the problem is when solitude turns into loneliness, then that can cause more of a problem. Solitude is, if you use this alone time to reflect on your life, or to, get back in touch with yourself, learn to love yourself, and, do the things that you love and grow yourself, then of course solitude is amazing. And I feel like a lot of people, they don't have true solitude because they're always distracted, or they're always hanging out with random people, and that can deter from getting to know yourself. And and when you're too often with people, what happens is we're social beings. We are sponges, and you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most, as Jim Rohn said. And if you don't take the time to come back into yourself, introspect, and just remove all the external influences from your life, then you lose touch with who you are. And that's a huge problem. That there's a passage I wrote that I'm writing about in my new book, that I talk about, to become an individual, you have to differentiate yourself from the group and society. And there's some people who are so enmeshed in society and in other people that literally they are other people. They are society. That, other people's needs and society's expectations of them have become them. And this becomes very dangerous, because at this point, it's crazy. Those people, you ask them what they want to do with their lives, and they'll just give you like a robotic answer, as if like society just programmed it into their prefrontal cortex. That is like, I want to finish my bachelor's and then go to university, and I guess study in law, so then I can become a lawyer. And you can tell in their eyes that's not what they want to do. It's kind of like an automated response, and you can tell that there is no passion in their eyes as they say that, right? And this comes down to, I think, a lack of self-awareness, lack of self-knowledge. And self-knowledge, self-awareness comes from solitude, going back into yourself, knowing yourself. So yeah, I guess I kind of went on a tangent there, but yeah, solitude is great in the right amounts. Of course, you don't want, if it turns into loneliness, it's probably time to, work on these social skills, start going out, and even if it's uncomfortable, try to make a friend or two when you go out and all that, and that can be good. What's up, Zem Zem? For people who suffers from social anxiety, how can they be better at speaking to other people and just in general? So sorry for my bad English. English is fine. English is great. You just go out and you do it. That's what I say. Like all my live streams, when someone asks me a question, I'm like, how do you become better at this? Well, you do this. You do the thing that you asked. So you have to go out there and you interact with people. The answer is in the question, basically. Yeah. Did you have any experience of no FAP or semen energy? Yeah, I mean, I've tried it in the past. I think it's great for energy, or if you're struggling with social anxiety, or meeting the opposite sex, or you want to get out there in the dating market. It's great because it gives you sort of this vital energy, this masculine energy, I feel. And of course, it's all sort of pseudoscience. There's no like real science behind no FAP, okay? But it does give you this, it gives you this extra energy that's hard to describe. But if you need to go out there in the dating world and just social world and socialize, I think it's a great thing to do. Just careful because I'm not sure if it's healthy for your reproductive organs to not eject, so to say. So for an extended period of time, I think it might not be the healthiest of things. So just consider that. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but there are certain benefits. I just wouldn't go I don't think I would recommend going months without it. I think it might be bad. I don't know. Hugh Jazz, you look so cute. Thanks a lot. It means a lot. Hamza, Hamidou. I appreciate your work, but I'm very sad to see that only few people are following your channel. Yeah, thanks. Well, I mean, people were saying that since I had 1,000 subscribers, and now I have 25,000, and it's a great milestone. 25,000, and even when I'll have like 2,500, I'll still have people be like, "Oh, it's so sad." I mean, not 2,500. I mean, 250,000 subscribers or 2 million. People will still say like, "Oh, I wish you had more," and there's always more, I guess, you could have, right? And I'm fine with it. I don't expect that I'll have 1 million subscribers. It will be nice to have, but it's not like something I'm worried about. Before I used to be like, yo, I need more subscribers. I need to grow my channel and all that. Now I no longer care. I feel like now it's just a matter of doing what I love, taking it easy, and being more laid back about this whole thing. Because I used to be like super serious about my channel, my business. This has to grow. I have to quit my job by a certain time, and it just sort of burned me out. And you need some sort of balance. So whatever, if the views come, they will. If they don't, well, I mean, if the million subscribers come, they will. If they don't, well, whatever. And I'll just keep working at it because I like what I do, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. And I enjoy the process, right? And yeah. Samsam, how can I get rid of stress, hyperventilating, and shaking when I speak in front of a group of people? I mean, this one is hard because I struggle with public speaking a lot when I was younger. That was sort of like my biggest fear. And it's funny how now I have a whole YouTube channel that's basically all I do is public speaking. What you have to do here is you have to I say it all the time, but you just have to do it. You have to practice, you put yourself in the field, but you have to make sure after the experience, you don't want it to become like a traumatic event that you go to a public event, you speak, and then you shake, you hyperventilate, and you don't want to do it again. And you're even more scared the next time. That's not what you want to do. So you want to practice a lot. What I do is I practice, before when I had like a oral presentation at school, I would practice in my room out loud and with all the intonations and all that. And sometimes what you can do is you record yourself. Me, recording myself speaking was the number one best thing I ever did to improve my public speaking ever. If you just want to get better at public speaking, I feel like, because with competence comes confidence. And when you're competent in something, the confidence will just come. It just comes. So you just have to. So for me, that's what worked. Is you just practice. You practice in front of the mirror. You just whatever you have to do. And if the hyperventilation comes, whatever, just it's sort of a technique when me when I was struggling with panic attacks and hyperventilation myself. You have to embrace it. I know it's hard to do, but when the panic comes, you know that it's not going to kill you. The hyperventilating is, it's just your body trying to protect you, trying to like put you in a fight or flight response. And when you want to deal with that, is you want to accept it, and you keep breathing through your nose and you continue the presentation as if nothing. I know it's very, very hard to do, but try it out. Just try it out this way. And hyperventilation comes from like over focusing on your breathing. And what I found to work is you focus on something else, like when you're hyperventilating. So you focus on the next word you're going to say, the next idea you're going to say. You don't think about breathing. Just forget breathing, and just because your body's going to breathe by itself. And certain affirmations that work is like, my body knows how to regulate itself. It can just breathe. It doesn't matter. So yeah, and my mask keeps falling off. Just 1 second, guys. You can keep asking me questions. I just need to fix the elastic. God damn it. There we go. Hopefully that works. Hopefully that should solve it. Yeah, I mean, public speaking is a matter of practice, really. It's often the answer is in the question. How do you get better at public speaking? You public speak. How do you overcome social anxiety? You go out and socialize. It's in the question. And I'm back. Here we go. Hey bro, could you tell me that why do I don't feel like to just live at home? Because I have urge to do different that change the people but don't want to do, and where to start. I think the wording is a bit confusing there, but so basically you want to know, I'm going to try to answer what I think you're asking. You don't feel like living at home. You want to do something else with your life. That's what I feel that will change people, right? But don't know what to do and where to start. Well, Google it. I don't know. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to start a YouTube channel? You don't know where to start. If you don't know where to start, you just Google how to start a YouTube channel. And I feel like this, I hear this so often. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to begin. There's all the information you need to start whatever you want to start nowadays, unless like you want to start like something completely new, like a brand new religion. It's a bit hard to do, right? I mean, you could. I'm sure there's like, you Google how to start a religion, someone probably wrote an article about that, but I feel like people who ask this question, it's not that they don't know how to do it, it's that they have resistance and fear towards doing the thing. Because technically, if you want to start a business, you just open a Facebook page with like your business name there with the logo, and you got your business. Technically, like that's the lowest sort of hanging fruit that you could do, is you start your page, and that's it. That's how your business begins, right? But people, they have this resistance, and sometimes it comes from fear, but often also it comes from confusion. And maybe you don't know where to start because you're just confused about exactly what you want to do. You don't have that clarity about what you want to do. So you sometimes you got to look at that, and you look at you got to ask yourself, what kind of life do I want to live? How do I want to help people? How do I want to have an impact on the world? And then the answers should come to you in that way. And once you know that, then starting, if you still have trouble starting after you know what you want to do, then it's fear. It's probably fear. And how you overcome the fear is, as I've said in my 60-second video on how to overcome fear, you walk towards your fear and you confront it. I really don't have any more tips to give you on that. That's basically how you do it. You have to confront the fear. And any other video that will tell you something else is techniques on overcoming the fear, whatever no, you just gotta overcome it. That's it. Are psychedelics good? Because as much as I did research, they says that they open the human mind to see the world differently. Yeah, just be very careful, because I had depersonalization with derealization disorder for a small amount of time from weed. And I know weed is a light drug, so imagine like a psychedelic. I've done psychedelics in the past, and they are absolutely amazing. Just be careful, man. Just be super careful. Do it with the trips. Do your research. Whatever you do, just read a lot of trip reports, like reports of what people went through, how their trips went. Like, read those reports. And just read the side effects of certain drugs. Make sure you're getting the real thing. It's just do your research and do it where it's legal, hopefully. So, and then you should be fine. You should be fine. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. That all help John reach 100K likes. Thanks a lot. Yeah, like the video, please. Man with a cigar, waiting for the moment the rubber band snaps and see your face. I mean, people, I've shown my face to some of my clients, actually. Like, some of my clients know how I look like because I just revealed my face. Like, I spoke to that person so much, and we created this this relationship of trust so much that I didn't care about showing them my face. And in fact, it was weird not to show my face. So I just spoke to them, and I'm like, hey man, we were just doing a collaboration video, me and Milan. You can see my interview of Milan, one of my clients, and it was just weird not to show my face. So I thought, like, hey dude, like, yeah, this is how I look like. That was the end of the story. And it's crazy how it's just a face, man. I'm just a human. Nothing special. And who knows, I might face reveal when I get 1 million subs. I don't know, man. We'll see. Juniperus Godegara. What a name. Do you have tough conversations because it was emotionally charged and not because of public speaking or professional field? Yeah, I mean, tough conversations, like, in any field will advance you, whether it's just like professionally, you gotta have this conversation with your boss, or about that raise, and you can negotiate your salary and all that. You can do that, or you could have, like, tough emotional conversations, maybe with a friend, a close friend, or a family member, and all these things. You can have these. So in all these settings, you will benefit from doing these. You will benefit. And yeah, so that's what you gotta do. Are nootropics good, bro, for studying? You're asking me if everything is good. I feel like it's not that. I just keep pressing like the refocus button. Here we go. I feel like in your questions you're asking me, I feel like you need more self-trust and self-belief in your, in your ability to know if something is good or not. Because if you keep asking me if something is good or not, yes, I can give you my opinion, but at the end of the day, you have to trust that, hey, so I want to do this thing. Is this the good thing to do? And you have to develop the self-trust to try it out yourself, make mistakes, and then realize if they're good for you. So for example, in the case of nootropics, I freaking love nootropics. I just took nootropics right before this video because I just felt like it. I wanted that extra focus so I could speak better maybe, and just have that extra edge today, because I haven't done a live stream in so long. So I want that extra edge. They are absolutely amazing. But of course, with everything, there is like downsides and good and bad, and you want to be careful with that. And uh, you got to do your own research and just trust that you can find your own answers. Like this is like a relatively simple question: are nootropics good? You can just you can just research it. It depends on the nootropic. It's like saying, not to pick on you, but it's like saying like, are is meat good for you? Like there's so many types of meat. There's so many types of, certain meats are better than others depending on their omega-3 to 6 ratio, whatever. If you want to get to the details, it's a very general question, and yeah. So yeah, it's maybe if you're more specific, I could help also. Dental Digest shorts. Oh, you must be like a filmmaker, right? If you make shorts. I don't know. To be honest, I used to get very depressed and very often the past years due to toxic situations, and that's why I became numb. But now the things got better, and I didn't feel anything. I don't feel anything at all. Okay. Um, well, at least it got better, right? You look at the progress, and you just be grateful that you feel slightly better. It's overcoming, numbness or negative emotions, depression, whatever it is. It's not going to be like a upwards line like that. It's not linear. It's going to be bumps in the road. Like you're gonna like overcome a state of emotion, then you might slip back down again, and then you overcome another one, and then you slip back down again. And a lot of personal development is that, I feel. And now I'm at a point where, for example, me, where at the very beginning of my journey, I struggled with a lot of things like social fear, social anxiety. I wasn't diagnosed, but I had a lot of anxiety, like socially as a kid. But and all these things like trouble getting a partner, all that, and I have so much baggage to overcome, right? And the progress was always like sort of you learn a thing and then you spike back down, you learn a thing, you go back down, and it's all the way up until now I'm at a point where if I learn any personal development topic that I learn doesn't really do much to me. It's like I'd rather just do the work. Like if I have a certain negative emotion, I'm not gonna read about how to overcome a certain emotion. I'm just gonna overcome it. I'm just gonna meditate. I'm gonna journal. I'm gonna go for a walk and introspect. I'm gonna talk about that person. I'm gonna maybe talk to a friend about it, and I just overcome the problem instead of thinking how to overcome the problem. Right? That's right. But I know I'm going on I keep going on tangents. What was the question? uh, oh yeah, it wasn't really a question, right? It was like you were saying that you're still struggling with numbness. Yeah, it's difficult, but you gotta keep at it. It's like a constant awareness. It's sort of you practice body awareness over and over again. You bring the attention back to the body, to the emotions, and you learn to accept them again. And you have to also do nice things to yourself. It really helps. Like a lot of people who I feel become depressed or numb, it's like often with that depression, with that negative emotion, comes a lack of self-care. And if you don't care of yourself, then it's going to be very hard to feel better. Like, how many times have you heard like people who are depressed, they don't take showers, or they don't, they don't clean their room and all that, and things get messy. It's because, this lack of self-care. So start with the simplest of things. Do these self-care activities. Do things that you love doing, that makes you happy every single day. And even if it's 1% happiness, just bask into that 1% and do that every single day, even if it's small. And you're gonna feel again. I promise you're gonna feel again. It just takes a bit of time. And yeah. What's up, Rabbi? I have 2 questions. Give me a sec. Ever since I was young, I never really fit in with the crowd. I could be civil, but never be close to most people, only a handful throughout my life. I always thought whether I should change part of myself to fit in better or stay true to my beliefs. Have somewhat a handful of friends, but be kind of lonely and different compared to most people. Well, that's exactly my life besides the lonely part. What you exactly said is that me personally, I have a handful of friends, and I am different compared to most people. But if you think about it, different compared to most people, everyone is different. So what is most people? I feel like most people, it's not like most people are all the same. It's more like most people is a vague concept in your head of how people behave or what society is. So maybe what you're just saying is you're different from society. You have different beliefs in society, then you're a rebel. You belong in Nameless. You're awesome. We're all rebels here. So yeah, hell yeah, be different. Have a handful of friends that believe in you and love you. And me, maybe I have how many close? I have maybe 5, 6, 7 close friends, and the rest maybe I have like a total of in my circle maybe like 20 friends, like real friends, like 15 to 20, like real friends. Um, Maybe a bit less that actually talk to, maybe more than once a year, a few times a year, but maybe like 15 to 20, and I'm completely fine with that. I don't need any more friends to be happy or any happier. And I have my girlfriend as well, right? So I have in the relationship area, I have it handled. My desire for reproducing, whatever, I have this handled. I have my friends also for sort of this belonging, and I have my family that I'm always trying to better my relationship with them as well. So that's really all you need. Whatever fits the boat. And I went this route of trying to make as many friends as I could when I was still in college. And I remember I threw a party, and there were like 60 to 70 people that came to this party. It was epic. It was like the best party I ever threw in my life with most amount of people. But I realized that none of these people, at the end of the party, I realized people were my friends. None of these people were my friends. And it was just like this shocking revelation of like people don't give a shit about me. And after this party, I remember stop caring about making more friends or making more getting to know more people. It was just like a total waste of my time for me to do that. And what I dedicated my time to instead is I dedicated my time to getting closer to the friends I already have, spending more time with them, going out with them, doing the things that I love with those friends. And honestly, like I've never been happier with the group of friends I have right now. Like I don't need more friends. I have like my friends right now, we're like, as I said, 5 or 6 now, and we're just happy. We're great, and you don't need more. So it really depends on what you want. Some people they need 100 friends. Some people they just need 5, right? Hey, but we need a member to talk about these questions that comes in our mind. But most of the time, we don't have a person like you to ask a question. And also in schools, nobody answers or a question. Well, I mean, hang out here. That's why I'm here. So just hang out, man. Click on the subscribe bell so you get notified when I go live. Because I'm only gonna do live streams in the next few weeks. I'm not gonna release videos for now because I don't want to do videos for now. I don't feel like it. So just click the bell. I'm gonna go live. Love you. Thank you, man. I love you too, man or woman. I'm in the toilet watching this. I watch videos on the toilet all the time, so no shame in that. Hey man, I tend to get nervous when I face people of higher rank at work. How do I show no fear when I look at them in the eye and greet them or keep a conversation without butchering it? What really helps me personally is to realize that this person goes to the toilet and poops. This person burps. This person has a family, probably has a wife, and sometimes he's groggy and grumpy, doesn't want to go to work, and he swears. Remember that the person that you're afraid of is just a man just like you. And my philosophy is that we're all equals. It doesn't matter if you're the president. If you ask me a favor and you're the fucking president, and I don't like you, or what I don't, it steps over my boundaries, I'm gonna try my best to say no, even if they're the president. Or I mean, of course, I don't want to get arrested. Of course, if there's something serious like about the something has to do with the law, I'm probably gonna comply. But point being is, we're all fucking equals, and you just remember that in your mind. It's not gonna solve the fear right away, but just remember that. And when you speak to them, just um, I feel like me personally, what helped me with my boss is that I just interact with them. I get to know them. And when you get to know your boss, you get to know what you have in common. For example, me and my boss, we have personal development in common. He knows about personal development. He loves meditation, and we're both abstract thinkers. He has like all these metaphors and hyperboles, and we relate on that. And that's great. We have these things in common, and that's great, right? So instead of seeing them as an enemy, like, you can start to see how you can befriend them in a way. And I know that it's not always easy. I'm just looking at the time here. It's not always easy, but you can do it. So in a nutshell, that's what I'd say. How to get through society traps. What's up, Floyd? Like, how to own yourself and get rid of society or anyone. Still be unnoticed to anyone. You want to be unnoticed, you want no one to be able to see you, well, hide in a cave and never come out if you don't want to be seen. Of course, that's probably, I don't think that's the best thing you want to do, is isolate yourself. But technically, if you don't like society, if you don't like people, just hide in a cave and never speak to anyone. But of course, that's not like a viable option, really, right? And the question I want to ask you is, why? Wait, I'm not sure I understood your question. Like, how do you own yourself and get rid of society? Well, you can't. Yeah, you can't get rid of society, really. So you have to live in society. You can try to bend society's rules if you want, do what you want, but at the end of the day, we live in a first, whatever world you live in the world, and there's people in this world, and you have to learn the social game. You can't really escape these things. So that's what you gotta do. I currently have 0 friends. Recently, a friend told people my secrets. I trusted him. I realized that people only befriend you to the extent that benefits them. Yep. Well, I mean, it's better to be alone than to be with toxic people, right? So yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. You can ditch them and try to make better friends. And it's a learning process. Making more friends, better friends, it's a learning process. You always go through like toxic people. You get rid of them, and then you make new friends. And during that phase of getting rid of your friends, there's always this alone time. It's probably the loneliest time, where you have no one to talk to. You have no one to confide in, but that's okay, because in the end, you will find your new group of friends. It just, might take some time. Emmanuel, good morning, bro. Hope your weekend has been awesome and lit as mine has. You're the MVP. Keep it up. Thanks a lot. Why some people have much friends and some people have no friends? It all depends upon the introvert and extrovert type. Or no friends have a greater mission. It depends. Like, why do I have less friends than like the frat boy at college, right? That just talks to everyone that he sees. Everything that moves, he talks to. Why do I have less friends than them? Probably because I don't talk to as many people. But now you could argue that probably the frat boy who talks to everyone, the popular frat boy, probably maybe has less real friends than I do. Maybe he has more friends, but he has less real close friends than I do, right? How about that, right? Maybe that could be an option. I don't know, because you talk more. Everyone has different social needs. Like, there's some people that can just go such a long time without going out of their house, and they're absolutely completely fine. And I don't know how they do it, because I think it's kind of superhuman that you can just spend like weeks on end without talking to a human being and not feel lonely. I couldn't do it. But some people are like that. So I don't know. I don't know. Depends on your social needs and all that. Nowadays, people just want to take advantage because they make programmed by their parents or the society. No, I don't think so. I think that's probably what you believe, but what you believe isn't necessarily the truth. What you believe is, you can change what you believe. It's just I don't think that's the case. People are not out there to get you. Some people are out there to make your life worse, yes, but not everyone is an enemy, and there's a lot of good people in society that will help you. There's a lot of them. You just gotta look for them. Can you tell what's your time for being live so I'll get ready at that time to ask questions? Sundays, I'll try Sundays or Mondays around 11 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, so around that time. And I don't have a strict schedule for now, so that's why I say hit the notification bell on the subscribe bell so you're notified when I go live, because otherwise you're not going to get notified when I go live. It's just going to pop, like you need to actually search my channel and you're not going to see it. So click on the bell. Can you play some of my music? Maybe I'll check it out. I'll try to remember to check it out. How was your childhood, John? A childhood can shape a person. It was okay. It was fine. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was good. I was very shy though. I had a lot of shyness to overcome. I wasn't bullied very much, but if you look at my emotional neglect video, I tell a bit of the lack of emotional literacy in my family, how that might have affected me a bit, right? And also, if you look at the story behind Nameless, just YouTube search that, the story of Nameless. There's this whole video on my childhood and my whole life. Probably you could learn, it's probably better you watch this video. How to help yourself being overexposed to the other people. I don't think I understand. I don't think you understand what you mean by overexposed to the other people. I'm not sure I understand. Have a job interview tomorrow. Nervous as hell. Any tips? Practice. Just practice. Know the common questions that they're gonna ask, and just practice them in front of a mirror. Or just practice them to yourself, and you're just gonna feel better. It comes with practice. So yeah, guys, just if you have any last questions, I'm gonna take like 2 or 3 more questions and call it a day, because it's past noon and I'm hungry. I gotta eat. In my opinion, my numbness has given me some advantages, except the disadvantages, because I've gotten rid of social anxiety, shyness. Yeah, honestly, I had a journey. I had a point in my social, where I learned to be more social in my journey to overcome social shyness and all that. I had certain parts where I became sort of shy, sort of numb to negative emotions, because sometimes I get rejected from people, especially if you talk to them at like nightclubs and stuff. It's not the most friendly place necessarily, right? And I just learned to go through that, and I was fine. And I had a period where I was just numb to negative emotions. And sometimes if you turn that into having a thick skin, it can become a good thing. So use that numbness as something good, and don't judge it like, oh, I'm feeling numb, I should feel like. Just let it be. Go through your life and see if you can use that emotional numbness in a good way. So you go out and you face your fears, and because you don't feel as much fear anymore, isn't that amazing? You don't feel as much fear. To do something with that, right? And that's amazing. What are your core beliefs? Are you religious at all? And any thoughts on it? No, I'm not religious. I'm not religious. What are my core beliefs? Well, I mean, yeah, I could deconstruct my brain here, but there's so much to say about my beliefs. I mean, we could talk about it for hours. We'll try that. Thanks. I really enjoy your content. Have a great day. Thanks to you, Nick the Slayer. And thanks a lot, guys, for watching. I'm gonna go. As I said, I go live about once a week. Click on the subscribe and the bell because you're not gonna get notified if you don't do that. So yeah. So thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot, Rabia. You seem pretty good. Differentiating perceptions and actual reality. Interesting. Thanks a lot. And have a great day, everyone. Peace.